Hi there, I'm Dustin Woods, Managing Editor for Canada Moto Guide, and we are here once again at the Toronto Motorcycle Show at the Enercare Centre at the Kawasaki booth. And we are here talking to Brad Goodbody, Manager of PR and Marketing. And what do you have to show us today, Brad?
Well, we have a really special unit here. This is our ZX10RR, which is our race homologation unit. So Kawasaki produces 500 of these globally over the past couple years. So this is actually the final one in Canada. So like I said, we brought it out for the Toronto show just to kind of not very many people actually get to see it. So because it's, like I said, it's quite a rare bike. One of the biggest things with this that you can't see, which is kind of in the internals, is that this actually has Henkel titanium connecting rods, right?
Oh, okay.
So very, very high spec race parts. You would really only see that on really high-end engines. But of course, with the homologation unit, the purpose of that is that we put in this, then Johnny Ray can go into World Superbike with those components and go race. So like I said, it's between that and then you got the Marchesini forged rims, and you kind of put all those components together, and it really produces a real kind of stout race bike. So like I said, it's really cool to have it here. We got, obviously Kawasaki has a huge heritage in racing, and so we like to kind of show these off every now and then. Pulled it out of the crate just for this show, actually.
It's beautiful.
It
so
is,
you mentioned this one is different than the one that Jordan Zogue would be racing, as an example.
It is, yeah. So it's Jordan's racing our ZX10, ZX10R, if you want to call it our standard super sport bike, like the one that we have behind us here. Like I said, this is kind of brought in, and it's a really rare, almost a collector's piece right out of the box, right? A lot of people like collecting these homologation units.
For sure.
But having ridden this, I could tell you that it's a real shame because this thing needs to be on the track.
Absolutely. I mean, it would look good in my living room, but also, it belongs on a racetrack.
It absolutely does, yeah.
And so one thing we were talking about earlier is that this market, unfortunately, with insurance and what have you, is a shrinking market. So how do you combat that and get people into riding bikes like this?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question, because it's there's no, you can't deny the fact that the super sport sales are kind of going down. Insurance has a lot to do with that. But really, like I was saying, this thing wants to be on the track, right? So whether it's a partnership that we have with Michel Mercier and the Fast School and providing them with bikes, and really trying to promote people to harness having a super sport, but learning how to ride it properly in a safe and controlled environment. And that's places like that where you really get to go and have fun with these things, is where you really get to experience what this is meant for. And so we kind of like to promote it going down that route. I mean, with the way that the licenses are, and like you said, insurance. The real place for this is on the racetrack.
Definitely. Well, and that's what I told my mom when I participated in the Fast Racing School last year, is that not only are you able to actually experience a motorcycle like this the way that it was meant to be ridden, but I also felt so much safer, even though you're going faster, because everyone is hopefully going in the same direction.
You would hope so.
Nobody's texting, nobody's running stop signs or red lights, and really that's where something like this belongs to be.
Exactly, yeah. No, I mean, believe me, these are still fun to ride on the road, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's, I still enjoy getting out in the street with these, but really when what really puts a smile on my face is definitely having this guy on the track, for sure.
Absolutely, it wants to sing.
It does. It's happy at 10,000 RPM plus.
Absolutely. Sure. And so one of the other bikes that we're going to look at is the ZH2. So
absolutely.
Can you show us that?
For sure.
Why don't we go check that out?
Yeah, let's go.
So previously, if I wanted an H2 and I wanted a naked motorcycle, I might have had to choose, but now you've taken the guesswork out of it and you've put that all into one motorcycle.
Absolutely, yes. We've heard your call, and we've kind of put it together, and we've come up with the 2020 ZH2. So it's absolutely fantastic, kind of the pinnacle of our Z line, and utilizing the 1000cc supercharged engine that we've become so famous for, with the lineage of the H2s, starting with the H2R, going to the H2 street bike, then the H2SX, the Sport Tour, and now we have the ZH2, the latest offering.
Right, so a 200 horsepower supercharged leader bike.
Yes.
You're telling me it's manageable and that it's easy to ride.
It seems like a bit of an oxymoron there, but it truly is. It's a fantastic bike. They really wanted to focus on the low speed handling, making sure, because it is a bit of a bigger bike. You need a bit of a bigger frame to handle all that horsepower. But obviously in the low speed, you don't want it to be too cumbersome. So the way that they did the fork angle, the way that they've did the whole geometry, the whole chassis is ground up. It's not like we took, say, an existing bike, took the fairings off and called it a naked. This bike was developed from the ground up to be able to ride and manage all that power. So yes, slow speeds, it rides like, say, our Z1000 would, but you crack that throttle around 5,000-6,000 RPM and that supercharger starts chirping and you're gone.
It's got to sound fantastic,
absolutely.
too.
Oh, it does. Actually, interestingly, you always get a bit of the supercharger chirp from our H2s, but with this one, because it's our Z, because it's our aggressive line, they really pumped it up. So when you're shifting between, I like to relate it to a bunch of pissed off squirrels. You just hear this, you just hear this like kind of thing when every time you're shifting. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
And so what sort of riding modes are harnessing all of this power to make it easy to ride, say in normal conditions or wet conditions or what have you?
Yeah, exactly. So obviously with all that power, you do need a little bit of electronics to help them out. So we do have our traction control, we have our wheelie control, cornering management function, all of those type of things. And then they're all integrated with riding modes, like you said. So we have sport, road, as well as rain. So that kind of manipulates the throttle, the throttle sensitivity, the power modes, as well as the traction control to ensure that all of that power is going to be actually manageable.
Well, that's excellent. Thank you very much. I appreciate you walking us around this bike, and we very much look forward to riding it and reviewing it this summer on CanadaMotoGuide.com. So look for the review later this summer. We're here at the Toronto Motorcycle Show. Thank you very much for watching.